Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the high-stakes world of mergers and acquisitions, where, believe it or not, most deals actually fail. But what if there was a way to flip those odds? We're going to look at how artificial intelligence is stepping in as an indispensable co-pilot, totally rewriting the playbook for how these massive deals get done. So let's just start with a number that should stop any deal maker right in their tracks: 70%. That's the estimated slice of M&A deals that fail to deliver on their promised value. I mean, that's a staggering failure rate, especially in an industry where billions, sometimes even trillions of dollars are on the line.
The whole point of any merger is to create something called synergy. It's this almost magical idea that 1 plus 1 can equal 3, that combining two companies creates way more value than they could ever have on their own. But as that 70% number shows us, getting to that real, tangible synergy, it's one of the toughest things to pull off in the business world.
So the big question is, why is it so incredibly hard to get M&A right? Well, to really get it, we need to take a look at the old playbook, the traditional, manual, and frankly, painful grind of how these deals have been put together for decades. Before AI came onto the scene, the M&A process was just an absolute slog. We're talking about a maze of spreadsheets, endless email chains, and these marathon meetings with what felt like armies of consultants and analysts. This whole process wasn't just slow and expensive, it was incredibly open to human error, to burnout, and to all sorts of hidden biases. But right now, we are in the middle of a huge transition. It's a pivot away from that isolated, manual process and toward a completely new model for making deals. Now, this isn't about replacing the human experts, the seasoned bankers and corporate strategists. Not at all. It's about empowering them with a really powerful AI co-pilot. You can think of it like a unified operating system for M&A that brings all the intelligence into one place and automates all that heavy lifting. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just stark. The old playbook, it was reactive. You had to go out and search for deals. The new playbook is proactive, with AI systems constantly scanning the entire market for you. We're really seeing a fundamental shift from focusing on administrative busywork to deep strategic thinking, and from making decisions based on gut feel to creating integration plans that are truly data-driven. Okay, so let's get into the specifics. How does this AI co-pilot actually change things at every single phase of a deal? Let's see it in action. All right, let's start with just finding a target company. In the old days, you'd search with some basic keywords, but today, AI systems can digest your firm's entire investment thesis, that complex, nuanced strategy, and then scan the market for companies that are a true strategic fit, not just a keyword match. And what's really crucial here is that every decision gets logged, creating a permanent institutional memory. That means the system literally gets smarter every time you pass on a deal. Then you get to due diligence, the real deep dive. And this is where AI just absolutely shines. I mean, look at this. First, it analyzes strategic fit with incredible nuance, but it can also put a number on those soft factors that are so critical. By analyzing the language from earnings calls or even employee reviews, AI can actually score cultural compatibility. Can you imagine it flagging that one CEO constantly talks about aggressive growth while the other talks about sustainable culture? That's a huge potential clash a human might totally miss. It can even predict how complex the integration process itself is going to be.
And this is what it actually looks like in practice. Instead of having all these different data streams, you get a single command center, a unified dashboard where the entire deal team can manage their workflows, analyze targets in real time, and track progress. It just eliminates so much friction and miscommunication.
So what's the engine behind all of this? Well, it really comes down to a few key technologies. You've got natural language processing, or NLP, which can read and understand human language in contracts to spot risks. Then there's machine learning, which analyzes thousands of past deals to predict the outcome of yours. And predictive analytics can even tell you which key employees might be at risk of leaving after the merger, which lets you get ahead of a potential talent drain. It's pretty incredible. Okay, so this all sounds great, but what's the bottom line? What's the actual measurable impact of all this? What's the real dividend you get from this AI revolution? Well, the efficiency gains are just massive. As this chart shows, firms are slashing their analytical process time by up to 60%. And just look at due diligence, a whopping 75% reduction in hours spent. That frees up dealmakers to focus on high-level strategy instead of being buried in administrative work. And it's not just about being faster, it's about being more accurate. Research is showing a 20 to 35% improvement in how accurate valuation predictions are. So that means you're not just moving quicker, you're making smarter, more reliable financial decisions from the get-go. And this all translates directly into real money. As this quote from Accenture Strategy points out, just closing a deal a few months earlier can generate tens of millions of dollars in value that otherwise would have been left on the table. In this world, speed isn't just an advantage, it's cash. But here's the thing, this technology does way more than just improve a single deal. It actually builds a powerful, long-term strategic advantage. The ultimate competitive edge isn't about winning your next deal. It's about creating what's called a proprietary data moat. See, every single action you take on the AI platform, every company you analyze, every deal you close, every target you pass on, all of it generates data. That data then retrains and refines your firm's own unique models. It creates this self-reinforcing loop where your system gets smarter and more tuned to your specific strategy over time. That is an advantage your competitors simply cannot copy. And that leaves us with one final provocative thought. As this technology completely transforms the industry, the greatest risk for any firm might no longer be choosing the wrong company or paying too much for a deal. The biggest risk of all might just be ignoring the incredible intelligence that is now, quite literally, at your fingertips.